Good evening, everyone. We're here to have a public notice. The Board of Commissioners, have a public meeting over a few items here. We have three items that we will review. The Board of Commissioners of the City of Mount Juliet will have a public hearing on today at City Hall for second and final reading on these three items, which is number one is to amend Part B of the Unified Development Code of the City of Mount Juliet, Tennessee, known as the Zoning Regulations Ordinance 2001-29, adopted October 8, 2001, as amended by amending 103 definitions, land use activities, Section 3, 103, detailed activities listed in Section 6, 102, uses structures to permit breweries and microbreweries in select commercial districts. The second item is to approve the request to deny sewer service to the Mount Juliet sewer system made by the development at 9911 Central Pike, map 99, parcel 9.06 and 10. And the third item is to amend the fiscal year 2023-2024 budget ordinance 2023-24 to appropriate additional funds for the City of Mount Juliet special election. If you're here to speak on any of these three items, I'd invite you to come forward to the podium, give your name and address for the record. If you have other items you'd like to speak to, we'll have a public hearing again at our regular scheduled meeting at 6:30. Any takers on these three? Well, seeing none, we will close the public hearing and we'll reconvene for a regular scheduled meeting at 6:30. Thanks, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Today is November 13th, and I'll call this meeting of the Board of Commissioners to order. We have a quorum present pursuant to city code, so we'll proceed with the conducting of our city business. I'll start off by saying welcome and thank you for attending our meeting here. My name is Mayor James Maness, and on behalf of the commission and staff, I want to welcome you. Tennessee state law guarantees you the right to sit here and see the business of the city of Mount Juliet being conducted. And we invite you to take an active role in this when we get to our citizen comments spot on our agenda. But with that, I will set the agenda as published if I don't hear any objections. Hearing no objections, we'll set the agenda as published. We have a 177-page packet to go through tonight, and we'll move through those as quickly as possible. But at the same time, we will be working as diligently as possible to get the best outcome for our citizens here. So if you don't have a copy of the agenda, they are in the wire baskets. You can find those back by the doors. If you're watching online, it's available online at our city's website as well to follow along with that. So with that, I'll city manager. Well, we're going to do our PIO if he would, Mr. Justin Beasley. Would you come forward and lead us in our invocation and pledge of allegiance?
Yes, sir. Thank you. If y'all will stand with me. Let us pray. Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for everything. We thank you for this great city. We thank you for Thanksgiving upcoming, Lord. There's so much to be thankful for with where this city stands and how you've blessed it in its 51 years of incorporation, Lord. Just be with our elected body tonight as they make important decisions like they do twice a month, Lord. And may they use your wisdom and lead on your guidance, Lord, for all these issues and great things to look forward to, Lord. We also thank you for our city management and the tireless work that they put in, along with our department heads and all the employees in the city, Lord, that you've blessed us with such a great team. Lord, we thank you for our residents here that contribute so much to our great city and just the way that we go about our daily life and the blessings that we have here with the safety that our first responders offer us, Lord. We ask the hedge of protection over them, our police department, our fire department, and everyone else that keeps the city as safe as possible, Lord. We thank you for that. We just give you the honor, we give you the praise, we give you the glory, we give you the thanksgiving. It's in your holy and precious name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Beasley. Next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes. This is from our October 23rd meeting. Is there a motion? Have a motion? Is there a second for the? Got a second on that? Any questions or comments on that? All in favor of the minutes, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The minutes carry. Next item on the agenda is the citizen comments. Just some quick things about the comments on this. We want to give everybody the opportunity to speak here. By city code, the time limit is 3 minutes on speaking, but we do ask you to come forward at the beginning of the presentation, tell us your name and address. Please address all comments to the mayor. If you have any questions, don't ask them to city or staff, just address them to me. If there's someone here that we'll get together on that and get an answer for you. But the board is under no obligation to respond to questions from the floor. And please avoid inappropriate language, profanity, or any other inappropriate conduct. And keep your comments on topics for the city, please. With that, I'll open the floor and invite you to come forward to the podium and give your name and address for the record.
Hi, my name is Jessica Sweet. I'm current homeowner of 60 East Caldwell Street. I'm here to comment on the downtown city block proposal, which I know was deferred from this meeting, but I didn't find out until early today. So I'm just going to relay some comments I had for you all as you continue to evolve on that project. I'm a current resident of downtown and I would love a walkable downtown space. I am not against growth or development of our city, but I believe it should be done responsibly with foresight and with respect for our community. This project has been compared to downtown Franklin. Their city hall and walkable district centers around a 2-lane road with a roundabout and a speed limit of about 30 miles an hour. Conversely, I cannot safely cross the 5-lane, 45-mile-an-hour Mount Juliet Road to get to retail on the west side of the street. And the proposed infrastructure for 245 new apartments is to make more lanes for more cars. The parking, which as proposed looks grossly deficient, will take up a massive area that will be devoid of value. And adding 245 apartments on this small footprint will add massive vehicular traffic. This area is not yet developed enough to not require a car, and this project adds massive residential traffic without sufficient amenities or value to make it truly walkable. Engaging and involving the local community is key to successfully revitalizing an area. So I urge you to please set up a town hall or additional public forums regarding this project. Let's have a working discussion as a community, as board members, city manager, and the developer. Otherwise, let's call this project what it is, a new city hall, which is wonderful, but as I understand, will not be free, will not even be at cost, but a percentage above cost. It will be built behind retail and office space. The wonderful general store city museum, which is the only walkable public amenity on this block, will be knocked down to make room for office space and parking. This project will be Vintage Station North Phase 2, which draws no one except its occupants. A high-density apartment complex built in my quiet downtown neighborhood. Do not masquerade this project as a boon for the city. Please do not metro our downtown. Vote no to the high-density apartments on the downtown city block. Please reject this project as is and involve the community in building a truly walkable downtown, one those already live here can walk and enjoy, and that will provide value for all of Mount Juliet. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Name and address for the record, please.
Name is Glenn Austin. I'm a new resident of the area at 4004 Hampshire Court.
Thank you, sir. You have 3 minutes.
Good evening. My name is Glenn Austin. I'm a recent transplant to Mount Juliet. I was born and raised in Eastern Washington State, but just moved here from California because of personal issues. I'm the kind of person you appear to want in Mount Juliet, and I chose this area because it feels closer to where I was raised rather than where I was from. I'm very familiar with the phrase, "Don't California my Tennessee," because I've lived through the mass migration of Californians to the Spokane area after Expo 74 and have family that still lives in that area. Let me tell you what happened to Spokane over the last 40 years of Californians moving to the area. Prior to the World's Fair in Spokane, it was a relatively safe place to live and work. We regularly went to downtown to shop. My sister and I were also part of youth organizations where we regularly met close to or in downtown directly. The best hotels were downtown. The best shopping was downtown. The best restaurants were downtown. The best entertainment was downtown. That all changed with the construction of high-density housing and the mass migration of Californians to the Spokane area. Today, my family does not go to downtown unless they absolutely have to. And when they do have to attend something downtown, they make sure they have a way to defend themselves. Their adult kids never go to downtown unless they are with one of their parents. Even areas surrounding downtown have seen their crime rates and traffic issues skyrocket. You might think I'm describing a single example, but the town I just moved from has increased their building tremendously and have had the same problems with lawlessness and traffic skyrocket. And I've seen what happens when infrastructure isn't in place to accommodate the population growth. There's not enough roads, there's not enough water. The quality of life suffers. I picked Mount Juliet because I saw in this town the kind of life I wanted to live, and a place where my now adult kids could live without fears of violence against myself or them. I know that there are those who might say that because I come from California, what do I know? I'll tell you what I've seen. I've seen what happens when you put a lot of people into a small area with high density housing in the community. I've seen what happens when you build the housing but fail to provide the infrastructure for the increase in traffic, crime, and utilities and security. I've seen the issues arise as businesses move out of the area due to crime, traffic, and loss of customers due to fear of their own safety. Now, I will say this, I do tend to be blunt when I express some of my opinions. I'm here to tell you that building high density housing right now is a mistake. And anyone who is in favor of high density housing at this time is
Sir,
either
you're,
ignorant or could really benefit from the increased chaos that invariably brings. Thank you.
I apologize. I did not realize we had added a. Apparently no one realized we had a. We got a dog.
Hi, I'm Jessica Stoico. This is my daughter Sophia. We're at 82 East Hill Street. She wanted me to pick her up so y'all could see her puppy.
Give us the puppy's name.
Puppy is named Dogita.
Ah,
And I just want to piggyback off of what the previous two residents said. I know that the downtown city project was not put on the agenda for today, which we found out at the last minute. I would love to know why it was deferred until next month. But I also just want to urge everybody here to vote for a walkable downtown. Please do not metro our Mount Juliet, because we love it the way it is and would love more space so that our kids can play in a park, you know, a green space. People can walk their dogs more without being afraid of being struck by a vehicle. Maybe a greenway type area where folks can more easily ride their bikes, because I know that's a challenge sometimes with all the traffic. Do you have anything else to say, Sophia? No. Okay. All right. Thank you for your time.
thank you so much.
Good evening. My name is Karen Sweet. I live at 60 East Caldwell. I'm just asking, as they said, I understand the vote is deferred, but I'm asking if you could consider, please vote no for the 245 unit 4-story apartment complex in the downtown city block. The project's being presented to you as a positive gift to the city, when in reality, it doesn't serve the city. As the previous people mentioned, it offers minimal amenities to the public and will certainly destroy our quiet neighborhood. Please don't metro our downtown. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else for citizen comments?
Evening. Andrew Tarsi with Reagan Smith Associates, Nashville, Tennessee, 315 Woodland Street, Nashville, Tennessee. Myself and our design team are here representing agenda item 10A Golden Bear Place subdivision. We just want to take this time for when this item does come up. We're here and available to answer any questions or facilitate any discussion that may arise. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
My name is Jim Clemens. I live at 155 Ridgecrest up behind here. I moved to Mountain Juliet because it's small, friendly, but it's kind of outgrown itself. But what I'd like to see back here is instead of apartments, something revenue neutral like a park. I mean, that would go great back there, because we got a bunch of kids back here that don't have a park to go to, but it's 2 miles away. At Charlie Daniels. But I sure like to see a park back there and a larger fire hall. We need a bigger fire hall. We need for this to be the main fire hall. And I guess that's all I got to say. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else for citizen comments? All right, seeing none, we will close citizen comments and move to Commissioner reports and comments. Start by recognizing Commissioner Justice. You're recognized for 5 minutes, sir. Report. Vice Mayor Trevette.
Yes,
Recognized.
Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I want to thank all the families for coming out tonight and also online watching. I'll tell you, as we get closer to the holidays, either room starts packing in or else they start to get quieter, but it's always great to see our neighbors and family and friends. So thank you guys all for being here tonight. Obviously, I mean, we just celebrated and honored, our veterans. Thank you to all the folks that are out here listening and also in here tonight. Thank you all for your services and the dedication you've given to this country. Couldn't thank you enough. My family and I greatly appreciate it. Also, to also back into that also, Mount Juliet PD, great job this week to, again, keeping our streets safe. Great job to the officers that came across some heavy drugs along with some other things that were out there. I don't want to get into too much of the detail, but this is what I want everybody to realize as you're coming through. Obviously, there's many residents here tonight that are talking about the development. Our streets will stay safe because this board and this community will stay strong when it comes to supporting our first responders. And this is the example. And I think our captain, our police chief, and the rest of the department, our deputy chief, all of them have stated many times that if you come into Mount Juliet and you want to bring crime in here, they will catch you. So please deter Mount Juliet. Stay away from this place if you don't want to get caught. So these guys don't play games, and they are supported 100% by this board. So thank you guys and women to everything that you guys do for us each and every night. Just want to just remind a couple things. Obviously, the census, when does that wrap up, Mayor? Do we have a date on that, City Manager? Several months. Okay, so we still got some time on that. So first quarter of next year. Okay, just want to make sure to all the families, make sure you scan that QR code. The city is promoting it. There's signs all over the place. That is not so much for Big Brother to watch. It's more for us to be able to get funding for this city, to be able to support our first responders, our parks, our roads, and everything else. So please continue to get those numbers in as quick as possible. December 8th and December 9th, right after my birthday. So if y'all want to look for a good birthday gift, December 3rd. All right, that wasn't that funny for the crowd out there, but it's okay. December 8th is the Christmas lighting, tree lighting, and then the 9th at 11 a.m. is the parade. And I just want to thank the Parks Board and everyone else in those departments that have been helping out getting this parade kicked off for 2023. Rocky Lee and his team, they have done a great job in years past, and they continue to set the example for all of us. So I know it's kind of a thankless job sometimes because we all show up as a board and, we show up, we get in the trucks and we go down to the parade. But then at the same time, when the parade's over, everything has to be cleaned up, put away. And it's a lot of work and a lot of dedication. And these folks, they spend weeks preparing for this event for all of our citizens to go out there and our kids as well to have a great time. So to the families that came out here tonight, I'm listening to you. I'd love for you guys to reach out to me. My information's online. Please just shoot me an email, a phone call. I'll do whatever I can to, to hear more about, what it is that you're looking for, as well as, some better ideas out there. So with that, Mayor, that concludes my report, and thank you guys.
Thank you, sir. With that, we'll recognize Commissioner Mullally.
Thank you. If I can talk. First, is Carrie here? Carrie Brandon? Okay. Okay. A few short months ago, Carrie Brandon came to introduce herself and to bring some special treats that she had made. And so she has a home bakery. She now has a name for it. She's also a pastry chef. And so tonight she has brought some of her goodies. The name of her bakery is Mama Bird Bakery. And so anyone, please feel free to get yourself a treat over there. They're very delicious. I have a carrot cake cookie. I can't wait to eat it. And so thank you to Carrie for bringing your treats again. All right, let's see. On December 4th at 6 p.m., I also serve on the BPAC committee, which is the Bicycle Pedestrian Advisory Committee, and we have 4 events a year. And this is our last event of the year, which is a Christmas lights walk. And so we're going to meet in Willoughby Station, which is off South Green Hill Road at 6 o'clock. So please, it's open to the public. Bring the family out for a magical night walking through Willoughby Station. And we're going to have, this is the second year, we're going to have a family. Their whole family plays musical instruments. And last year, the youngest one, I think, was 1 or 2. And so it's just the whole family, and they're very talented. So please come out and enjoy them. We'll have snacks and hot chocolate as well. We'll meet in the parking lot. The address is 1326 Sydney Terrace. So we'll have some music and snacks, and then we'll go out and walk and look at the lights. And so having said that, the 3rd annual city hosted Christmas lights contest is going to be going on again. And the Parks Board meets tomorrow night to finalize that. And it's the citywide light decorations contest. So just be looking for notices on that. And so get your decorations out and get ready to decorate. And also on the BPAC walk in Willoughby Station, BPAC will be giving a first place prize, which is a yard sign, which is you get to have voting rights, that we selected you as the winner on behalf of BPAC. But the city, for the citywide Christmas lights, will have their own, and then those will be presented on December 8th, the night of the tree lighting at the town clock tower. Let's see. I mentioned that. Let's see. Okay. Story time with Santa. You can bring the family to Providence Marketplace on Saturday, December 2nd from 2 to 5 p.m. for some holiday fun. There will be a special story time at 2, and then crafts and projects and visits with Santa, and face painting and music and hot chocolate and cookie decorating. So the event will take place at Cinema Circle, which is in front of Regal, the theater at 401 South Mount Juliet Road. And please consider bringing a new unwrapped toy to be donated to Toys for Tots. And I think, let's see, I think that's it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. I want to start off by saying thank you to all of our veterans. We just celebrated Veterans Day a couple of days ago. I know many of you have served our country so well. I think of people like Commissioner Justice that have served, and appreciate everything that you've done for us. Also, with that, would like to say thanks to Dale Webb for the invitation to attend their event that they have where they honor the veterans so faithfully every year. And also the same day, Ashley Clark Day, received an invitation to attend that. And I want to thank the Fellowship of Christian Athletes for that invitation, and of course, Mount Juliet for Hope. And also, while I'm talking about Mount Juliet for Hope, I want to thank them for their 5K and for all their efforts that they've done to raise funds and support our first responders, and especially Lieutenant Hudson as he continues down his path for recovery for it. And all the efforts that they do for this community, they do so much for us out there. But I also want to congratulate Green Hill High School on winning and securing the Mayor's Cup this year. That game, they got out fast and early, so but the streak still continues of the visiting team winning the game. So we'll see how far this goes on that. And I want to thank the sponsors like Volunteer State Bank and R&M Printing for all the efforts that they've done to sponsor that and support our local athletes as they compete. And conclude my comments with just saying happy Thanksgiving. We won't meet again until Thanksgiving has concluded. So if you're traveling, stay safe. If you're staying here, eat a lot of that turkey, go to bed early, set that alarm, and get out there and shop Mount Juliet hard on Friday, because Because somebody mentioned we need a bigger fire station, and that's one thing you can do. Easy thing to do. We know you're going to spend money for Christmas. Just do it here in Mount Juliet. Help us pay for a new fire station, or law enforcement officers that we see back there, firemen that we see, all those streets that get mentioned, the infrastructure that they need to do in this city. Shopping in Mount Juliet's your easiest step to help in paying for that. So go out there and support your city. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Have safe travels. And with that, I'll conclude my comments and recognize our city manager for his.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Martin.
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. Thanks for everybody being here tonight, and good to see old friends. And gentleman that come up earlier, a friend over there, wave. Years ago, I was out on, I guess maybe on patrol or something, and he had this cool 1956 Chevy sitting in his front yard back here behind City Hall. And I pulled up there and asked him if that's a very neat car, and I always want one. It's on my bucket list. And asked him if he'd sell it, and he wasn't wanting to sell it at the time, but it was good to catch up with you tonight. Good to see you and everybody else. I want to thank, because I know we do a lot of thinking of other people, but I want to thank the Board of Commissioners and our staff for all your tireless efforts and passion. I know you're called upon a lot of times for after hours events, weekend events, you name it. And I want to thank you for that. That means a lot to me and to other people. And I want to thank Dale Webb for inviting the commission and some of the staff out this weekend to recognize the veterans. We appreciate you veterans more than you'll ever know. We wouldn't be here without you. And we celebrate you every day. So for those that are here, you can tell that in our community, we're very patriotic. And as we like to say in Mount Juliet, you haven't seen anything yet when it comes to our patriotism. I'd like to thank you for that. I too, along with the commission, would like to thank Miss Carrie Brandon for her treats. It's awesome when you see a mom and pop business like that starts in their kitchen, and their dream is that you will buy their product and patronize their business so they can hopefully one day get them a storefront or whatever. I think we all applaud people with that kind of work ethic, and Mount Juliet's what it is because we do support our mom and pop businesses, and especially with the holidays coming up. So please do that. It makes my heart feel good to see somebody doing something like that comes up here, and it's not the first time she's done that, and donate that. I mean, if you had to buy something like that'd be costly for somebody to do that for you guys. I think that speaks volumes. So I'd like to thank everybody for that. And as the mayor said, and the commission, Miss Alicia Clark, who grew up in Belinda City. I think her parents may still live there. She's won 3. She was Mount Juliet, an all-star at Mount Juliet in college. And then she went on to win 3, not just 1, not just 2, but 3 WNBA. So that's the equivalent of the NBA for the guys league. So that's pretty darn impressive for somebody right here in our local community. So I hate that we weren't able to be at the event in the detail we'd like to be, but we had the Veterans Day that same day. So we're very proud of her and thankful for her. And if you see our chief at some point in the future, Chief James Hamrick, he and Miss Denise have been a blessing to this city for 28 years. And he's retiring December 15th, and we'll be honoring him in a lot of ways. But if you happen to see him out and about or whatever, or his wife, Miss Denise, or you want to run by the police department, just pick up the phone and call him. This is something he's prayed about. He's excited about his next chapter in his life. We hate to lose him, but we're not losing him. He's just going to a different chapter in his life. So we're very happy for him. And I want to thank the commission for everything you've done to enhance the efforts, just like our police officers that are here in the room tonight, to where it is a safe community. And for those of you who haven't been notified, I don't know where he went, but our assistant chief was somewhere. He may have just stepped out for a second. He's Tyler Chandler. You guys have watched him grow up here. He's went all the way through patrol. Tyler, can you pop in real quick? I like embarrassing him a little bit too. I know the commission supports him, but Tyler's been with us from day one since he was 18. He's our captain now. So he's went through every rank of law enforcement with us. And his next step will be assistant chief. And Michael Mullins, who's been with us, I believe also, is it 28 years? 26 years. He is going to become our chief. So he'll be following the heels of Chief Hamrick. And what I love about that is it shows you that you can have people within your department that come up through the ranks because they love and have that passion for community that nobody else could elsewhere. So it speaks volumes to Chief Hamrick that he's done such a good job that our next deputy chief and our chief can be men that he's worked with for 26 and how many years, Tyler? 26. It's a long time. He was 18. He's just a kid, so we won't speak to his age. And then, of course, Chief Folks, I'd like to give him a shout out as well. As the commission had tasked us and the chief with finding land for the next fire department because it's very important to replace the fire department that's behind here. It's our oldest. And the chief and his team's done a really good job. So we'll be bringing something before the commission here real soon in the future for consideration. So just thank everybody. And sometimes, you think of all that's going on in the world. I like to think I'm a positive person, sometimes it's referred to as other things, but I'm very thankful. I'm thankful that I live in a community filled with such good people. And unfortunately, there's people sometimes that come to our community that don't have good intentions, and that we've got a police department that we can know is going to keep us safe. And we had a little bit of that recently to where somebody come to our town to try to sell a weapon, and somebody came with intentions of taking the weapon without paying for it. And it got a little out of hand, as y'all probably read about, but this police department took good care of that right quick, so it didn't happen. So if you've got ill will and misdeeds in mind, you might not want to come to Mount Juliet, Tennessee, because we do not tolerate that or take too kindly to people placing the people that we care about and are sworn an oath to take care of, and that's you folks and the folks at home watching. We take that. And mayor and commission, as we like to say in Mount Juliet, we can't do much about what happens outside of Mount Juliet or in the state or in the country, but we're going to make a heck of a difference in the city of Mount Juliet, Tennessee, where we are extremely blessed. So God bless everybody, and God bless Mount Juliet. That concludes my report, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. With that, I'll recognize our city attorney. He's got something to read for us here.
Thank you, Mayor. As this commission may know, there are currently 4 ethics complaints filed by commissioners against commissioners. I want to state clearly that each is being addressed by a dedicated group of 5 individuals who comprise the duly elected and established Mount Juliet Ethics Commission. As each of you know, each commissioner was able to choose and appoint one of those 5 members to the Ethics Commission. Further, due to conflicts I have as the city attorney in advising the Ethics Commission when the complaints involve a commissioner filing a complaint against another commissioner, the Ethics Commission voted to appoint Bill Farmer, a former U.S. attorney and chair of the Metro Civil Service Commission, who has over 50 years of experience practicing before state and federal courts in Tennessee, as well as other jurisdictions, has been elected by the commission to be the attorney advising the Ethics Commission. I will also advise that the Ethics Code and state law prohibit any commissioner discussing these proceedings or the investigation with anyone other than their attorney, or to investigate any complaint against them individually. And certainly under no circumstances should any commissioner be contacting any of the Ethics Commission members. To do so exposes each commissioner engaged in that activity to possible civil and criminal liability. So briefly, and to conclude, the investigations are under the auspices and control of the Ethics Commission. The city manager, Kenny Martin, has no right or the ability to conclude or interfere in the Ethics Commission's investigation. Therefore, you should not be contacting him, nor will he engage in any conversation regarding the Ethics Commission or these complaints, and he has been so advised to state to anyone, if contacted, that he is not able to communicate or discuss these complaints. As the city's ethics officer, I can answer certain questions on process and procedures, but will not be involved in any substantive review or advice on the merits of these complaints. If there's a likelihood of any conflict or the appearance of any improper presentation in any procedural matter question, I will defer that to Mr. Farmer. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. And with that, we'll move to the business portion of our agenda. We are on number 8, which is unfinished business consent agenda. We have a couple of items on second reading. 8A, an ordinance approving the request to deny sewer service to Mount Juliet Sewer System made by the developer subdivision at 9911 Central Pike outside the city limits of Mount Juliet, Tennessee, identified as Wilson County, Tennessee, map 99, parcel 9.06 and 10. The second item on consent is an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2023-2024 budget ordinance 2023-24 to appropriate additional funds to the city of Mount Juliet special census. Motion and a second. Any questions or comments on the consent items? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The consent agenda carries. That's four. I have four, and one absent. 9A, what's the next item on this, which is second reading under unfinished consent. An ordinance amending Part B of the Unified Development Code of the City of Mount Juliet, Tennessee, known as the Zoning Regulations Ordinance 2001-29, adopted October 8, 2001, as amended by amending Section 2-103, Definitions of Land Activities, Section 3-103, Detailed Activities listed in Section 6-102, Uses and Structures to permit breweries and microbreweries in select commercial districts. Have a motion and second. 9A is on the floor. Questions or comments? Commissioner Mullally, you are recognized.
Since this ordinance includes breweries, and the primary discussion at the Planning Commission was to allow microbreweries in restaurants. But since breweries are included in that as well, and it's been added in our definitions that there's our microbreweries, which are considered small scale, up to 25,000 barrels a year. And there's breweries, which are considered large scale breweries of over 25,000 barrels a year. So since breweries are included and we need to change that in our definition, I would motion that the breweries need to be capped. So I personally would not like to see an Anheuser-Busch or something like that come in here. So I would like to motion to cap breweries at 50,000 barrels a year.
Is there a second on this? All right.
50,000 barrels a year per year. And it is written in the definitions.
So your motion in a second is to cap breweries at 50,000 barrels per year.
Per year.
Any questions or comments on the amendment? All right. All in favor of amending it to cap breweries at 50,000 barrels per year, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we're back on the ordinances once amended. Anything else, Commissioner?
No, that's it.
Okay. Any other questions or comments on this? All right, all in favor of the ordinances once amended, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? 9A carries. I'll move to new business. First item under new business 10A, an ordinance to rezone the property known as Golden Bear Place subdivision located at Golden Bear Place and Beckwith Road, map 78, parcel 10.09 from OPS to CI. Have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments on this item? All in favor of 10A on first reading, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That carries by all the members present, so vote of 4. Next item is 10B, an ordinance approving a request to connect to the Mount Juliet sewer system made by the owner and developer of 105 Cedar Grove Church Road outside the city limits of Mount Juliet, Tennessee, identified as Wilson County map 50, parcel 70. Have a motion? Is there a second? All right. The item's on the table. Any questions or comments? Commissioner Justice, you're recognized.
The property was the reason we deferred this last time is because the property had not been platted at that time, had not been recorded. But since then, the easement has been recorded that takes sewer all the way to the church over on Cedar Grove Church Road. So that was just the only thing I was asking in response to get them that extra lot. So that's been handled.
All right. Any other questions or comments? All right. All in favor of 10B, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? 10B carries. 10C, an ordinance to annex into the corporate boundaries of the city of Mount Juliet approximately 12.8 acres, property known as the Harrington property located at 1006 Goyle Road, map 97, parcel 67, and located within the city's urban growth boundary. Is there a motion? Hearing no motion, 10C, is denied or it's not going to be considered, so that fails. 10D, an ordinance to annex into the corporate boundaries of the city of Mount Juliet, approximately 22.19 acres, property known as the city of Mount Juliet's property located at 620 Clemens Road, map 72, parcel 71.06 and 71.02, and located within the city's urban growth boundary. Motion is seconded. 10D is on the table. Any questions or comments? All in favor of 10D, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? 10D carries. 10E, an ordinance to establish and update the Occupational Safety and Health Program Plan, devise rules and regulations, provide for the safety director and the immediate implementation of such program plan.
Motion.
Have a motion? Any questions or comments? All in favor of 10E, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? 10E carries. 10F is an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2023-2024 budget ordinance 2023-24 to appropriate funds for the Mount Juliet Police Department's Firearms Training Center.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions or comments on 10F? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? 10F carries. 10G, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2023-2024 budget ordinance 2023-24 to appropriate funds for a communications director in the executive department. Have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments on 10G? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? 10G carries. The next item on the agenda is our new business consent agenda for resolutions. I will read these. 11A, a resolution approving an agreement between the City of Mount Juliet, Tennessee and the Barge Design Solutions LLC for the design of the Cedar Creek Greenway Phase 2 project and authorize the mayor to sign the agreement. 10B, which is a resolution to approve the agreement with PowerPhone for the total response medical dispatch software and training and authorize the mayor to sign the agreement. 11C, a resolution authorizing the mayor to sign the certificate of compliance for MAPCO Express Incorporated, doing business as MAPCO 3320, located at 194 South Mount Juliet Road, to sell wine. And 11D is a resolution declaring the City of Mount Juliet Sewer Department property as surplus to be disposed at Gov Deals auction.
Second.
Properly motion to second. Is there any questions or comment on these four items? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Consent agenda carries. The four items. Our last item, which was item 12A, a resolution establishing a consultant evaluation policy and committee for all projects funded in whole or in part with funds provided by the Federal Highway Administration or the Tennessee Department of Transportation. Motion and a second. Any questions or comments on 12A? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? 12A carries. Last item on our agenda is our adjournment. And if there are no objections, we will adjourn. Hearing none, we are adjourned.